How about now? Better?
Yeah, right. So we'll start again. I'm so sorry. Right. So for the people, hopefully they'll join back. I'm always having tech issues. I'm so sorry. It's bloody OBS. It's rubbish. But hopefully, we're back. We're up and running. We're only 9 minutes late. So we'll start again. We're back with, we'll start again. Start fresh. Welcome everyone to the first episode of the 1862 podcast. Hello everyone for joining. Again, I do apologise. The first stream we was having audio issues, which I said to Cole we would have audio issues. We always do.
Yeah, you did.
So yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining back. It is the first episode of the podcast. We've got a lot to talk about. We've got a head coach, which we touched on just as we was about to get going, before we realised that the audio wasn't being picked up. So yes, Cole, start off with where we was.
Yeah, so we were talking about Martin Patterson, who has just been named the new Notts County head coach, who has been replacing Stuart Maynard. I will say the wait for a new head coach was almost agonising, I'd say, waiting for a new head coach. And then
I completely agree with that.
When they announced when they announced Martin Patterson, and I do agree with a lot of Notts fans on this, it was very underwhelming. Very underwhelming, because we thought waiting for so long for a new head coach, we thought, okay, they're probably bringing in someone who knows what they're doing and has got quite a bit of experience and everything. And I do say it was underwhelming.
Okay,
but
right, so we're going to get into all that. And so as we know, we'll just label it out as what you said earlier, Cole. So Martin Patterson, he's got an extensive playing career. He had a short spell at Burton Albion. It's debatable if you say that he kept him up. If you actually go back and look at the results, I think it was more that results went their way rather than him winning, keeping him up. Go
on. Sorry, I looked into the obviously the last couple of games. Obviously, they got them out of relegation. Still, the results weren't great. No, but again,
they lost quite a lot.
They did, and like you said, that was probably I don't almost luck that they stayed up. I'd say that was more down to luck than it was Patterson that they stayed up where they are. But
so
I'm a bit.
Go on.
But I'm a big believer when it comes to, obviously, a manager could perform different with different clubs. So I'm not saying he's a terrible manager. Well, no, I think he went into.
I'm going to stop you there, because I think what we should do, we'll get to like what we're hoping, where we think he might go at the end. So, as I said, he kept Burton Albion up. Supposedly, like I said, I think more results went their way rather than the fact that he was winning games. But so experience. I think I think the best way to put it, and I saw a lot of people's fans' reaction when they announced him. We've been waiting for a manager since Maynard left. We've not heard hardly anything from the club, but yet in the past 48 hours, there's been all these videos. We've heard all this, from Alex, the owners, the assistant coach. So it's been really dry on information. So I think that didn't help the build-up for this announcement for the manager. There was a lot of talk about Luke Williams coming back. Obviously, then the photo went out that Luke Williams was working at Bristol Airport, which kind of shot that in the water. And I wish Luke Williams all the best. I hope he's enjoying what he's doing. But I'm going to tell you where I stand with this before we get into all his details and what we hope and what we think Martin Patterson will do. Of course I'll give him a chance. Whoever walked in through that door, I was always going to give him a chance. Okay, because I'm a Notts County fan, I want whoever's coming to do well. But yes, I wasn't underwhelmed. I'm not overly excited by the appointment. I wanted someone to come in and and to kind of go, bloody hell, how did they get him as a manager? Or, his CV, a really extensive CV, someone pretty well known, very well seasoned, and I wanted that because I think that's what we needed. I think that's what we need. The attraction in itself. Again, I won't divert too much, but when I speak to attraction, obviously, I do also mean in the way we sign players and the kind of transfers we want this summer, which again, Cole will touch on transfers in a bit. I want County to think big, and I just don't feel that this appointment was that thinking.
No, I don't think it was. I think that I'd say they were trying to go for someone. Would you say unknown when it comes to being a manager? Someone who's obviously not really had a lot of managing jobs to think, oh yeah, I know this manager. He played for us. But I agree with you, Tyler. I think that it would have lifted the spirit a bit more of, yes, we've got a great manager with an extensive career. He knows what he's doing. He knows how the game's played. But with Patterson, we don't know how he's going to perform because we don't know much of him or who he's managed.
Yeah, it's like look at MK Dons as manager, for example. Okay, I wouldn't probably want him at County, but his CV's better than the one we've got. He's got a bit more experience. It's or even was it Carlisle's manager, who they got in.
Yeah.
That's I would have that that in itself, just something like that. And like I say, there's been so I think it has divided a lot of fans. There's a lot of fans out there that have kind of says, well, that have kind of moaned at the County fans that are moaning about the appointment and saying, oh, you need to give him a chance. And did this, and I think every County fan, of course, will give him a chance. I don't think no one is saying that they're not giving him a chance or that they're not wanting him to do well. Of course we do, but I even watched the lads at Notts County talk. I watched their live stream after the announcement was made, and they did a poll. And at the time when I was watching, I think there was about just under 400 people had voted on this poll. And the answers was happy, unhappy, or unsure. And only 10% was happy of the appointment of nearly 400 Notts County fans. So I do generally believe that I'm not the only one when I'm sat here thinking I really wanted someone that was a bigger name, that was a bit better than what we've got. But I hope he proves me wrong. I does hope he do well.
Yeah, exactly. I'm in the same boat as you, Tyler. When the announcement came out, I checked my phone and my first thought was, who the hell's Martin Patterson?
Yeah.
I didn't know who he was, so I looked him up. I went, okay, good player career, manager, not too sure. And at the time, I was happy that we'd announced the manager because we'd gone so long without having one.
Yeah.
But then obviously it kicked in me thinking, is he going to do well? Is he going to mess up? Is he going to play the same style of football like most managers have, passing through the back four all the time? And I think it was on one of his interviews, I think it was with BBC Nottingham, that he said, it's a big club, a unique club, and we need to get back to playing the Notts County way.
Right.
Which he said to BBC Radio Nottingham.
Yeah.
And then I was sat there thinking, like, well, what in Patterson's eyes, what is the Notts County way? Right? What is your aspect on that?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say it's given me hope, but I'd say he's got drive and he has got the ambition for this club. And I will say his intentions are good.
Well, yeah, of course. I think any person is going to have good intentions and going to want to do well. obviously we all know, and it's been very clear, even from the statement that came out with the announcement. Now, I've not watched the owners. I've not watched their video. I think that came out earlier today. But we all know that Notts County do things very different. It's back in the old days, right? You had your board, and Cole, you're gonna know this from watching your Damned United and stuff. You had the board, you had the manager, you had the assistant manager, the coaching staff. The managers was very involved in the signings. It was them that picked the team. It was the managers that did everything, and the board of directors was, they were the board. They didn't get too involved. Obviously, at Notts County,
Yeah.
that's completely different. We know that, we've not also got, the two brothers. We've got the head of football, which I can't remember his name.
Dr. Summit Road.
No, that's not the head of football. It's
Who's the head of?
oh, it's gonna bug me. I ain't got it. I thought it starts with R. I want to say Rodriguez, but it's not. I can't remember his name. So anyway, you've got the head of football. Now the head of football does the signings. He overlooks kind of what the football of the club, and then the manager or head coach, which is now labelled as and they don't even call him a manager. And the person that actually confirmed that was Les Brad. I was in the Notts County shop. They went to pick up my jacket behind me, and we was on about management. And I says, "Oh yeah, I was, hopefully we get a manager." And he went, "It's head coach." So it's just, I don't know again if this is a Notts County thing or is over football. It's just how it used to be done. It's changed, and it's one of those where if it works, if we're constantly winning, then that's great. But if it doesn't, and we're not getting the results, or we're not getting, we're signing players but they're not being effective, then it's going to come across as interfering and getting in the way because of just how football's been done for so many years.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you there. Obviously, like you said, most clubs, or I don't know if they do it now, but obviously, traditionally the manager makes the decisions.
Yeah.
But obviously now if someone else is taking the wheel, and see, this is my opinion. Obviously, if you're on the training ground day in, day out, watching the players obviously do what they do best, making sure you're strategically putting out the right squad for each season.
Yeah.
Then ideally it should be the manager that thinks, okay, if we sign this player, we can put him in this position. He can work well with this player. That's how it traditionally used to work out. But if there's just some guy in an office thinking, yeah, this is a good signing, we'll make the signing, then that's not really going to help it when it's practical, is it? It looks good on paper, but it's not working practically.
Well, like I said, we don't know. Like I said, if it works, then it's great. You kind of relieving the head coach, of those duties, so we can just focus on the tactics and on the training ground and so forth. But yeah, so kind of going. Obviously, like I said, we diverted a bit there, and like I said, it's obviously. The reason I was talking about that, because over the announcements, it's become very clear of how Notts County is run. And take that, like I said, take that as you will. I think everyone will have a different opinion. I'm very old-fashioned. I think you are as well, Cole. But if it works, great. But going back to Martin Patterson, obviously he had, I think he also had a spell as assistant head coach was it Phil Neville into Miami?
Yes, yeah, he was working in the MLS for a bit. He's also obviously had a couple of assistant spells at Swansea as well, which not many people know.
Okay, I didn't see anywhere on that. Obviously, you've watched the interview with him. I only watched about 5-10 minutes because after that it was. I'll be honest, I had things to do. What did you make of the interview? Obviously, he talked a lot about. Similar stuff in regarding to, the style of play, possession based. Now, a lot of fans have said that he's isn't a manager. He's not afraid to kick players up the arse, which I think sometimes we need. And he can also be quite attacking.
Yeah, which is obviously really good, and obviously that was mentioned in the interview. And he did mention obviously he's not afraid to kick a couple of players up the arse for not performing well, which is great because obviously that's again what we liked about Luke Williams. He was harsh on the players. He kicked them up the arse when they didn't do well.
Yeah,
That's why we liked him.
yeah,
So I think that's good. That's something good that we need. But there were some good points, obviously, about like, he's saying that, this club is a big club. We need to be higher up, and I think,
which I think we are.
say,
I think
yeah,
we should have, I think we are a League One club on our best days.
yeah, yeah,
And I've wanted to see. I do want to see Notts County out of League Two.
yeah, I do as well, and I completely agree. He does say this club deserves to be higher. Needs to make sure that it's got the backing and obviously the players and the chemistry as well. The chemistry to obviously fuel this team back up to where it needs to be.
Yeah,
But in all fairness,
so I was going to say
so,
because you know
so,
about
so, so
chemistry, because I mentioned that in a few of my, I mentioned it to my granddad actually in a few of the videos. You look at the chemistry that we had on the final season when we was in the National League to what we had, especially towards the end of last season. We could go
yeah,
down in the on that season, National League 2-0 down in the first half. I think we could easily bring this back up. You felt that every player had each other's back on the pitch.
yeah.
That there was you never saw them argue, you never saw them look frustrated at one another. However, with last season, towards the end of last season, it didn't feel like that. You'd see, people shout at either Gordon or like you could just tell that the chemistry wasn't quite there. We don't know if that was down to Maynard or just frustration. I don't really know.
No, exactly. During the final National League season, I would go to games like when we was playing. I can't remember who we was playing, but we was 1-0 down before half time, and I was just sitting there thinking to myself like, "Easy, we can win this." Like, and that that's the kind of comfort we need, knowing that if we're losing a game, let's say 5 minutes in,
Yeah.
like
got
now, if that was
minutes.
now. Yeah, we've got 85 minutes. Piss easy.
Yeah.
But now we're 2-0 down. Like at Doncaster, we were 2-0 down. We're like, game's gone. We're done.
Yeah.
Game's gone. Like, we ain't bringing that back. That's like, if your team's making you feel like that, then it's clearly a chemistry thing.
I definitely need that mentality back. And like I
Yeah.
said, it's a whole new season, so I won't talk too much on the past. We've got a whole new season coming up. And like I said, hopefully, Patterson's going to do a good job. We've got a new assistant coach as well, which I quite liked his interview. I really enjoyed watching it. I felt that he had quite a bit of experience behind him. I felt that he kind of knew what he was talking about.
Is that Andy Edwards?
Yes.
Is that? Yes. Okay. I didn't know if I got that right or not.
Yeah.
There's been so many like different interviews coming out right now. I'm losing track.
Yeah.
No, so Andy Edwards, yes, looked into him as well, and I'm not gonna lie, his resume has impressed me. He knows what he is doing, and he knows like how to play the game. So I am very much looking forward to see what he brings to the table.
Yeah. Again, I didn't dive too much into that just because of how I've been busy with work. I've not had time to overly prep. But yeah, so obviously, hopefully, like I said, that's one thing that Maynard also didn't have towards the end of last season, and that was obviously assistant manager, and they lost a few backroom staff. So I am hoping that having that full support, that will help Patterson. It's going to help the team better. Now, obviously, we've just had a comment, and that was my next topic. And I'm going to seem really negative. I'm going to try not to on this, but I'm going to tell you where my point is. His interviews just come up on the website today. Cole, I'm of course talking about Sam Slocum appointed as goalkeeper coach. Now, what's your thoughts on that? Okay. Oh God. Yeah. Yeah, he has. He's been at the club for quite a while. Um. So go on, Carl. Yeah. So with Sam Slocum, my only thing is the thing that didn't make sense to me is that personally I think Alec. Well, I think people might not think, but I'll be surprised who doesn't. I think Alex Bass is a better goalkeeper than Sam Slocum. Now, yes, Sam Slocum's got experience. Um, yeah, I was thinking that. I was wondering why that wasn't picking up. Um, Cole, your mic has gone mute for some reason. Yeah, one sec. I don't know why it's done this. Just give me a second, guys. Sorry about this. One second. Oh, this is what I mean, guys. Like I said, we had technical issues earlier, and then it literally just decides to do whatever the bloody hell it wants. Right, one second. Cole, have you muted yourself? He did. I saw you, Plonker. Yeah. Yeah. So I need to unmute. I don't know why this is picking up. Yeah, I know. Just give me a second. I'll try adding you again, Cole. One second. Right, say something, Cole.
Hello.
There we go. Right, we've got you back. Sorry, guys. Hopefully you can hear him. Like I said, it's this stupid bloody OBS system, this laptop. It does literally whatever it wants. So, right. Apologies about that, guys. If you are watching, thank you so much. If you have just joined us, it's the first episode of the 1862 podcast. I do apologise for tech issues, but we'll continue where we left. So, Sam Slocum, as I said, Alex Bass is the better goalkeeper. So yes, Sam Slocum's got experience. Yes, he's been at County for 6 years, and yes, it seemed really good to have him in the training ground. He's got a great relationship with the players, great relationship with the club. So I'm happy that he's there. I'm happy that he's stayed. But for him to be the head coach of goalkeeping, I just can't see him bringing anything new to the goalkeeping. Do you know what I mean? So what I'm trying to say is if we start making mistakes or anything like that, I can't see how he's going to develop that or change that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I see what you mean. But in all fairness, I'm gonna have to disagree. I think that with Sam Slocum's experience, obviously, don't get me wrong, I will agree Alex Bass is the better goalkeeper, and I agree with that.
Yeah.
But from the way I see it, I think that Sam Slocum, obviously, training, obviously, the goalkeepers, such like Alex Bass and everything,
Yeah.
could give him a new skill set, and so he can pick and choose about which one's going to be better for every game.
Yeah.
So I think that bringing in Sam Slocum as the head coach of goalkeeping will improve Alex Bass.
Well, yeah, I suppose the time will tell. Like I said, Alex Bass was by far my favourite player of last season. You know that from the Bass counter, the calm and collected there by Alex Bass. You know, so yeah, I do think you know, as long as he don't go, I'll be. I think you probably see me cry if he goes.
We'll catch that on camera. We will. We'll catch that on camera.
Yeah, we will. So, obviously, I want to go over to signings as well. We made 3 signings so far. No, is it 4?
Yes.
Is it 3 or 4?
No, 3. No, 3 signings.
3. You've got him from Blackpool, that tall young lad, which they even said they're kind of hoping he's going to be a bit like another George Abbott. And then we've got that other one as well, which I can't remember his name. But I definitely think we need more signings. We need another goalkeeper. We need a backup. Or is Sam Slocum going to be that backup? I don't know. His contract's released. He's just a coach now, so I can't see him be doing that. I just don't know.
Well, the 3 new signings, I'm excited to see what they bring to the table. In terms of the goalkeeper, for one, they shouldn't have released that American lad. I think they should have kept him in, obviously, for the new season.
Totally agree.
So then we could have seen what he's capable of. But so in my eyes, they've made it harder for themselves there because they already had an extra goalkeeper.
It is 4 signings. Thank you very much.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because we bought Matthew Dennis. He was the first one.
Matthew Dennis. I completely forgot about Matthew Dennis.
Yeah, then it was Tom. I can't say his last name. Then it was Ollie, which was for Blackpool.
Ollie Norburn, I think his name is.
And then it was Messiah. Again, I can't pronounce his last name. So yeah, 4. I think we need another striker.
Yes.
I think we could do with another midfielder still.
Yeah.
And I would still even bring in another. Probably. I don't know, because it depends if they're going to start Macari again every game. My only issue with Macari is I think that he really couldn't get back into it after his injury. So ideally, I would buy another right back.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think the main issue, obviously, with last season was definitely our defence and midfield slipped through. So I'm guessing definitely bringing in more strong characters in the midfield and defence would be a lot better. But here's a question: from what you know now, who would you have signed in the midfield and defence?
Oh, I don't know. There's so many. Do you know what I mean? There's. I don't know. It's not. If I'm honest, I'm not really that good at that kind of thing because I'm terrible with names anyway. I'm one of them where I'll probably see us play against, a team, let's say Chesterfield for example, and I'll see us play, watch the game and I'll be like him. He'll be really great to sign. I've always been terrible at names. But yeah, I do think we need more depth in the squad, especially like I thought we had massive depth last season, but look what injuries did to us, and I just wouldn't want a repeat of that. So I would put a lot of depth. So I do think we need more signings. Also, I'm just going to go to some of the comments because we are getting a few comments. And so guys, thanks so much for that. So someone put Slocum was doing more than what Maynard was doing.
Yeah.
But Slocum was coaching Bass last season more than whoever the head coach was. Yeah, and that's what I mean. That's what I kind of said. I know Slocum had a really good relationship with the players and the team at Notts County. So I do like Slocum as a person and as a player. I've got nothing against him. It's just, I don't know. It was just hard for me to get my head around him being head coach. Another one here, which is great. Here's hoping that Patterson can de-stress Tyler this season. Keep up the vlogs. Thanks, Gaza. Thank you very much. Hopefully I don't have a mental breakdown halfway through the season.
For nothing! For nothing!
To be fair, if we have the same refs or any of the refs like we did last season, oh my god.
Tyler's going to be putting on that Neil Warnock jacket and be like, hey, what the fuck the hell's happening?
Yeah. Have a fucking word within them ref. yeah, literally. Someone put we need a pacey wing back, which, yeah, I generally think we do. Hi, Luca. Hi, mate. Thanks for joining. Obviously, good to call you, Luca. MK Dons.
Yeah.
Was in the vlog. Great videos, great guy. But we'll get onto that because we are going on to fixtures. So we'll talk about MK Dons shortly. Because we all know fixtures is tomorrow. I'm so excited.
I am so excited. Me and Dwayne, you'll know Dwayne from the Doncaster video. We have decided to, no matter where the first game of the season is, no matter who it's against, we're just going to go to the game.
Yeah.
Obviously, I would love to go to every game, but I think Tyler's mentioned on a couple of videos, I don't live in Nottingham, so it is quite hard for me to get to games. But first game of this new season, I will be there 100%.
I'm looking forward to the fixtures. Like I said, just finishing off obviously on transfers, because we said we won. Obviously, Dids is gone. I think I someone's put on here, we need an experienced striker, and I think we do. We are keeping Jatta, which I think we probably will be, unless we get a ridiculous offer, I suppose. We do need someone to kind of fill in for McGoldrick, that experienced striker. I would still love, which I can't see this happening at all now, but I would love for Maka to come back still.
Yeah.
On loan. Or...
I'm not being funny. I think every single Notts County fan wants Maka to come back.
I just can't see it happening now. I can't see Hudson or this new head of coach ever bringing him back, but I would love to have him back.
No, but with Didsy leaving, that I can't lie, I didn't see coming.
No,
I didn't see Didsy leaving, and I won't lie, it's left quite a sour taste in my mouth. I will say that it's I wouldn't say it feels like a kick in the teeth, but I'm gutted. I am really gutted that Didsy's left.
Yeah, I think I thought he would have finished his career at County. Luke said, "How are you?" Yes, mate, I'm very good, thank you. I hope you're okay. So we'll just quickly look at the comments and we'll get back to. We'll go on to your favourite topic in Cole, which is the kit. We still haven't seen a new kit yet.
No, I thought we was doing fixtures first before we moved on to kits.
We'll finish fixtures because fixtures come out tomorrow. So we'll like I said, I did want to touch on. I did mention that we would get on to fixtures. But yeah, so we'll go on to the comments first. So let's have a look. Someone said here, we had depth last season, but no quality. Too many lightweights and similar players. Again, it was. You'd look at that bench sometimes and you'd kind of go, well, who would I bring on? To replace that.
I said this to you. I think it was a couple of games towards the end of the season. We didn't use Jarvis enough. I think Jarvis is a brilliant player, and I don't think we used him enough. So,
Jarvis, yeah. Well, see, Jarvis works better. Jarvis was a lot better as a striker, as an attacker, a CF centre forward than he was as a wing back. Every time we put him at wing back, he couldn't get into the game. And he did struggle. But again, we'll try not to divert talking about past games last season. It's so easy to do. It really is. Let's have a look. Also, also as well, Cole. Pre-season. How could we forget about
Yes.
pre-season?
Yeah.
What was the whole point of doing this podcast? We're not going to talk about pre-season. Like, come on.
What are we doing?
What the hell's happening?
What the bloody hell's happening?
So, yeah, as we know, it's 2 weeks until I will be on a 50-hour coach journey there and back, all the way to Frankfurt to watch Notts County, and then I'll be 24 hours on the coach back. I'm very excited, Cole. I wish you was coming with me.
I know. I honestly, I wish I was going as well. But just the money, it's so much, and I just can't afford it.
But guys, if you are watching, again, thank you so much for watching and still being with us. Are you put in the comments, are you going down to Frankfurt? Will you be there at pre-season? Obviously, we've got the 3 games in Germany. Also, I will only be going to the 1. And then we've got a home game against Cardiff
City, yeah. Which I was actually really happy about, to be fair, when I saw that release that we'd be playing against Cardiff City, because, funnily enough, my first ever Notts game was against Cardiff City. The first game I went to, we beat Cardiff 4-1, and that was my first game. I remember that vividly. So I was really happy to see that. But can we do it again? We never know.
I don't think so. It'd be nice, but yeah. I know. I don't think I will be going to that one. Just because of work scheduling. But yeah, no. I think I'm looking forward to pre-season. I'm looking forward to see if we bring any more players beforehand. We've got 2 weeks to sign any more players. Obviously, we've also got Alfreton as well before Germany.
I think we knew.
We knew
that Alfreton. Yeah, Alfreton was definitely going to be one of the pre-seasons, because we pretty much have Alfreton every pre-season.
Yeah.
But one pre-season game which I was really shocked they didn't do was, usually we always have a pre-season game against Forest. We always have a pre-season game.
Again, that stopped a while ago, because from what I know, again, how true this is, I know that Notts County, some people in Notts County and people at Forest have kind of fallen out. That's why you don't see Notts County getting many loan players from Forest anymore.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So that's I think that's a whole new story, totally different story. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I would like to see a few new players. You definitely, if you guys watch, you definitely get my thoughts on the pre-season, and if I see how we're going to play, it's going to be interesting. I know Jody Jones is still on holiday, so I don't know how much training or gym work he's done at the moment.
I know we have a pre-season game behind closed doors against Peterborough as well.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Which they said that's going to be broadcasted. I don't know what service they're going to be streaming it on, but I know it's behind closed doors and they will be streaming it. So I will be keeping a lookout for that to see what's going to be seen there.
Yeah. No, it's be interesting. Someone's just put on the comments as well, but it's a huge outlay cost to the police for Notts versus Forest, which didn't even think about that really. To be fair,
no.
And like I said, it's a bit weird now, because I'm not going to say that I'm going to hate to admit it. So it is weird. Forest are now, and I think it's I think you're kind of stupid not to say it. Forest are now a Premier League club. Yeah,
because when Forest first got promoted to the Premier League,
I was like, you're in the Premier League, but you're still a Championship club.
Yeah, and I think we all was thinking you're going to go straight back down again the season after, but seeing how they did last season and how they progressed, you can't deny now they have developed into a full-blown Premier League club.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But then again,
Yeah.
it's stuff like that. Now, it's stuff like I said. This is why I think this is why I get some of the comments, you know, from county fans when I talk about, you know, expectations. When, like I said, the appointment of the manager, I wanted someone big. You know, the way I look at it, Notts County used to be in the top flight of football. And I know it takes a lot, and it's going to take years for us to get anywhere close to that. But I still sit here now and go, why aren't we aiming for that? Why can't we get there? You know, and I just like I said, I just feel, you know, I think that was my biggest disappointment with the management is, you know, I was kind of hoping that the brothers would be like, right, we're going to go all in, we're going to try and do something, but. You know, who knows? Why we're talking about Forest? I know, that's why I got off the subject. I had to get off it pretty quick. Even the chat's like, well, we're not watching this crap, we're talking about Forest. Yeah, so Cole, as mentioned earlier, kit. We still don't have
Yes.
the top. I've got last season's away one on. Cole, you've got a unique one on.
I've got an absolute belter here. I've got the 2009-2010 home shirt, manufactured by Nike, which most of you will know as the Munto Finance shirt.
Yeah.
During that big scandal. I've also got the away one as well. I've got that shirt as well. And I absolutely love this one. I think it's probably one of our best. And I really do like this top.
Yeah. So obviously we know it's going to be done by Puma because Notts County extended their contract with Puma, I think beginning of last season. We know, I think MK Dons, like I said, other teams in the league have released this. Obviously, I don't think MK Dons released this, but they've announced that they're now with Reebok.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, Walsall released theirs.
Yes.
Terrible sponsor.
But, yeah.
You know, so and it's someone
Port Vale.
Yeah.
Port Vale have released theirs.
Port Vale.
Which I think it's a lovely kit. I do like their kit.
Yeah, you speaking of Port Vale, you come up with a pretty good theory earlier on before we went
Yes. Yes, I did. So obviously Puma, they've done it with Plymouth. They've done it with Port Vale. This template that came out with kind of like a collar with a slight V-neck in it and kind of like an old retro feel. I think they're going to do that with County because we seem to have a lot of similar templates with a lot of clubs. So I think that's going to be our template this season with a collar and obviously the black and white stripes. But here's another theory that I don't think we're going to go for the normal badge this season. Okay. I think they're still going to look the same, like for the home, in terms of shape. Home kit, yeah. I think the badge is going to be purely black and white. Just no gold on it, purely black and white.
Okay. Well, okay. That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the stick-on badges from the National League away kits, which I hated.
Which I really hope it's not.
No, I don't. Gazza's put, hoping Notts County relaunch the purple away from last season and make it away, the away top. It's weird. That's interesting because I wasn't overly keen on that top. It was the stripes that did it, but I did end up wanting to buy it near the end, but they sold out.
Oh, I was keen on it straight away, but it sold out before I had a chance.
yeah. I want 3 kits. Obviously, home, away, and I want a third kit, and I can't see it happening now because I'm not seeing really any trend on it. It was more of a trend of last season, and that was kits, but with an old badge. So
yeah,
like the Man United with the single devil. You know, there was quite a few other clubs that did it as well, and I'd love for Notts County to have a third kit with just a single magpie from the 1970. Oh, was it 78?
I think 78. Yes, I think that would be absolutely brilliant. Or actually, I probably just prefer the 2 magpies and the football.
Okay.
As a retro badge.
Yeah.
I'd like that as well. I think that's more leaning towards not modern, but kind of modern. But hey, I remember this badge as well. If you get what I mean.
Yeah. And like I said, it's going to be interesting because when's the new kit coming out? Obviously, last year Notts County played Dusseldorf. The home shirt was already out. Me and Jack had already bought it. We went to Germany in the new home shirt. We're 2 weeks away from Frankfurt. Obviously, not heard anything. It could be released next week, but even if it is, I can't see it being shipped out or in store or anything like that. So I don't know. When do you think it could be out?
I think, and this is going to be a pretty bold statement, I think it's going to be out next week.
Okay, so you're pretty confident. I don't think it will. I think it will probably be released after or during the week in Germany.
Okay. So I'm gonna have to disagree. I think it's going to be released probably early next week. I think it's going to be released.
Okay.
I think it will be.
What colour do you think what colour do you think the away one will be? A guy said purple. I know at the beginning,
Now,
a lot of people thought it could be pink again.
see, I wouldn't mind a pink kit personally. I wouldn't mind it, but if I'm going off preference, I thought about it, and I'd probably like a nice kind of dark green kit.
Do you know
for an
what?
away kit.
I'm really glad you said that because I was going to say like a green and yellow kit. So like with the green and yellow.
See, I wouldn't have the yellow on it.
No?
I wouldn't have yellow on it. I'd go probably green and black. I think that'd be quite nice. Like a dark green and black for an away kit. I think that'd be quite nice.
Sorry, mate. 1 second. Someone's put on a pink. Who I can think would be the pink kit.
See, I wouldn't mind a pink kit. I wouldn't mind it. But the only reason I have a problem with green and yellow kits
is it because
actually go. Yeah, because I remember there was a kit in 2014, the women make waves away kit, which I actually had, which was made by Cabrini at the time, and I had it for about 2 weeks, and I hated it, and I just bought it because it was there. And honestly, I can't stand that kit. That's why I can't stand green and yellow kits.
So I was just putting it, as long as it's not beige, as it will remind me of Maynard. I wonder if Maynard's got his job back at BT.
I don't know. I mean, let me call up my internet provider, see if he comes out.
Yeah. But so yeah, and then right, we'll go on to the exciting subject, which I know everyone watching will be keeping an eye on tomorrow. All the other EFL content creators, Luca, obviously he's going live with his video as well. So guys, if you do go and check him out. I'm sadly going to be at work, so I won't be able to do anything until I get home. But the fixtures are out. We're going to know who we're going to get on the first game of the season. Now, Cole, you said earlier, whoever you get, you're going to be there. You're going to go to the first game of the season. Who do you want, and do you want to be at home or away?
Oh, see, this is a good one because I was talking about this with Dwayne. I was talking about it. I would want an away game for the first game of the season. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't mind a home game. It'd be a lot easier for me on travel.
Yeah.
But away game, I want Walsall. First game of the season, away.
That would be
first game of the season.
That would be big. I would like. Do you know what? It's weird. I would like an away one because I really enjoyed Tranmere last season. I didn't actually go to the first game of the season before because that was away as well. But
that was Sutton away. That was
absolutely battered. But someone's just pointed, and I do generally believe because we've been away for 2 seasons in a row, I think it will land us being at home.
Okay, all right.
Okay, and I don't know why. I think this could be underwhelming, but I wouldn't be too mad about it. I just have a feeling for some reason it's going to be like at home against Accrington Stanley.
Okay, so you thinking it's going to be a game like Accrington or Fleetwood or a team that we're not bothered about, pretty much.
No, I wouldn't say we're not bothered about it. It's going to be the first game of the season, so I'm going to love it. I'm excited. Obviously, it'd be crazy if it was like first game and it was against Chesterfield or MK Dons
That
or
that would be
Walsall,
mental. That would
Doncaster. No,
Doncaster.
not Doncaster. Who am I thinking? Who am I thinking of? I can't remember now.
They were
Not
crown
Doncaster.
champions
Yeah,
at
I
our
know
ground.
they was. I know there was. Mate, it's getting late.
Do you know? Do you know who I would like to see at home first game of the season?
Who?
Oldham.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to playing against Oldham. I'm glad they got promoted.
I honestly,
Burton
honestly
got promoted as well, didn't they?
Barnet,
not Burton. Jesus Christ, mate, I've been up since 5. Right, don't crucify me in the comments, guys. Bristol Rovers, that's gonna be that's gonna be a good game.
That would away it'd be terrible for travel.
Yeah,
away that would just.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I wouldn't mind Fleetwood away because if it's sunny in August, Blackpool weekend in Blackpool.
Yes.
Beers, lads.
Yes, please. Yes.
You know what I mean?
Or to be fair, I wouldn't mind. What? I forgot what they're called now.
Someone's put on here Bromley away. We can watch Kyle Cameron because obviously Cameron's signed for Bromley.
Oh yeah, because Kyle Cameron's gone to Bromley now. Yeah. To be fair, I wouldn't mind them. I wouldn't mind MK Dons. I wouldn't mind MK Dons first game of the season.
At home?
No, away.
Away? Oh, okay. Luca, what do you think of that? Would you have Notts County at home as your first game of the season?
I think that'd be a great because I want to go to MK Dons and I'd love to go to MK Dons.
I enjoyed the travel to MK Dons Stadium. I did enjoy it when I went down there. Yeah, no, I do enjoy MK Dons away.
I mean, there is also the topic of Shrewsbury, who's also been relegated, who is now going to be in League 2.
Yeah.
Shrewsbury again. It wouldn't be far for me, but obviously, I would like to go.
Someone's put, please don't be Crawley away first game. Crowley away. I think he will go before season starts. I think someone will buy him. But
yeah. Yeah, because hasn't he been approached by a League One club?
Yeah, it was Doncaster.
Was it? Was it actually?
I'm pretty sure it was Doncaster. There's like 100k bid.
Oh, if that was Doncaster, bloody hell.
Yeah.
But no, like I said, there's some great games. Or Tyler, there's one major one that we're missing out for an away day.
What?
One that we know very well. Crewe
away. Oh God, not first game of the season. Please no. So, me and Cole, we've done Crewe away 2 years in a row because it's near Cole's birthday, and both seasons we've lost. Both seasons we've had a penalty against us by a decision that was never a penalty. So, and after Crewe away, we've tend to kind of gone a bit downhill. Although last season we had a really good winter, so it wasn't a quite repeat of that. Has McGoldrick gone to MK Dons yet? No, he hasn't. I don't think he will. I think McGoldrick might go for a League One club.
I've heard that he's actually hung up his boots. I've heard that he's actually retired.
Don't know. Well, he's not signed for it. I'm surprised that we haven't heard more from him.
But no, because obviously I approached Tyler obviously with the idea of going Crewe away again this season
for the third time,
and even though you said on the vlog we're never doing Crewe away again, we're not going. What's he doing? He's going again.
You got to do a trilogy.
It's tradition at this point.
Yeah. I mean, would you do Crewe at home or Crewe away? Which one I prefer? So anyway, guys, like I said, and I know it's been a bit of a messy first episode with you know technical issues and everything else. Obviously, the stream didn't get off to a great start. Cole's audio just decided to go to sleep on him halfway through the vlog, so sweet. But yeah, guys, honestly, thank you so much for watching the first podcast. This is the 1862 podcast. If you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button. Me and Cole, the podcast itself, it will be every Wednesday, every week. As we get closer to the season, we'll be doing our predictions. We'll go through who we think is going to win the league, who's going to make the playoffs. Obviously, hopefully we're going to get some more signings come in. There's going to be more news when the kits come out. We'll be addressing all that every week in all the podcast episodes. So, yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your support. Cole, if you want to say anything before we go?
I want to say thank you guys for obviously all your amazing support. I see it every day when I watch the videos as well. And I cannot wait for this next season. I can't wait to take you guys. I can't wait to take you guys with us, see what unfolds, see Tyler lose his shit, and I can't wait. It's going to be a great season.
Yeah, guys. And like I said, we're every Wednesday, the 1862 podcast. Obviously, keep an eye out as well for any vlogs and shorts on the channel as well. If you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any content. Hit the notifications as well. Obviously, tomorrow the fixtures will be out. I will be also uploading my reaction on the first game of the season. You've heard me and Cole's predictions. We'll see if any of us are right. And yeah, guys, thank you so much. I will see you on the next one.